You ever wonder who built the world around you? I'm not talking about your grandma's kitchen, I'm talking about the steel and iron bones of our nation. That's where you'll find a Boilermaker. These men and women are the unsung heroes of industry. The ones who get their hands dirty so the rest of us can flip on a light switch or drive across a bridge without a second thought. Boilermakers are the welders, the riggers, the assemblers, the fixers. They're the ones who take blueprints and turn them into power plants, refineries, ships, and everything in between. It's a physically demanding job, often done in tight spaces and at dizzying heights. But these folks are tough, they're skilled, and they're the backbone of our modern world. You won't catch them in suits and ties. These are hard hat and work boot kind of folks. They speak the language of torches and wrenches, and they understand the raw power of steam and steel like few others do. It's a job that demands precision and grit, and it's not for the faint of heart. But for those who answer the call, it's a life of honest, essential work. So what exactly does a Boilermaker do? Well, the name is a bit of a throwback. While they used to be the ones who built and repaired boilers, hence the name these days, their work is far more diverse. Think of them as masters of metal and might. They're the ones who take massive pieces of steel and weld them together with pinpoint accuracy. They align heavy structures with cranes and rigging, making sure everything lines up perfectly. They inspect for flaws using their trained eyes and specialized tools to spot any weakness in a weld or a crack in a beam. And when something breaks down, they're the ones who climb inside boilers, tanks, and vessels to make the repairs. It's hot, dirty, and often dangerous work, but it's got to be done. They're the first line of defense against catastrophic failures, the ones who keep our industries running smoothly. Their work is a mix of brawn and brains. You've got to be strong to handle the heavy equipment and materials, but you also got to be smart. You need to understand blueprints, geometry, metallurgy, and the science behind pressure vessels. Now, a Boilermaker is only as good as their tools. And let me tell you, these folks have a tool for every occasion. Forget your fancy smartphones and laptops. We're talking about the heavy hitters of the tool world. They've got welding torches that can melt steel like butter, grinders that can smooth out any rough edge, and rigging equipment that can lift tons of metal with ease. They use lasers for precise alignment, plumb bobs to ensure verticality, and ultrasonic testers to check for hidden flaws in welds. And don't forget the safety gear. Boilermakers are all about safety first. They wear fire-resistant clothing, helmets with face shields, and heavy-duty gloves to protect themselves from the hazards of the job. But the most important tool a Boilermaker has is their knowledge. These are highly skilled tradespeople who have spent years honing their craft. They understand the properties of different metals, the intricacies of welding techniques, and the importance of following safety protocols to the letter. Section 4, from bridges to blastoffs. You might be surprised by the sheer variety of structures Boilermakers work on. It's not just factories and power plants. These folks have a hand in building and maintaining some of the most impressive structures in the world. They work on bridges, skyscrapers, stadiums, and dams. They're involved in shipbuilding, oil and gas exploration, and even aerospace engineering, that's right. Boilermakers have helped build everything from the Golden Gate Bridge to the rockets that launch us into space. Their work takes them all over the world, from the frozen tundra of Alaska to the deserts of the Middle East. They're the kind of folks who don't shy away from a challenge, they embrace it. They're problem solvers, innovators, and the unsung heroes who keep the world running. Think about it. When you turn on your lights, cross a bridge, or board an airplane, you're relying on the skill and dedication of a Boilermaker. They're the ones who make sure those structures are safe, reliable, and built to last. Section 5. Guardians of pressure and precision. The work of a Boilermaker isn't just about brute strength and welding skills. It's about precision, attention to detail, and a deep understanding of the forces at play. When you're dealing with high-pressure vessels and massive structures, even the smallest mistake can have catastrophic consequences. That's why Boilermakers are so meticulous in their work. They're the guardians of pressure and precision, the ones who make sure that boilers don't explode, pipelines don't leak, and bridges don't collapse. Their work is about more than just building things. It's about building things that last, and ensuring the safety of everyone around them. They're the ones who lie awake at night thinking about the stresses on a particular weld or the pressure inside a boiler. They're the ones who won't hesitate to speak up if they see something that's not right, even if it means delaying a project or challenging authority. In a world that's increasingly reliant on complex machinery and infrastructure, the role of the Boilermaker has never been more critical. They're the ones who keep the wheels of industry turning safely and efficiently, and they deserve our respect and admiration for the work they do. Section 6. The legacy of the Boilermaker. The next time you see a skyscraper piercing the clouds, a bridge spanning a mighty river, or a factory humming with activity, take a moment to appreciate the Boilermakers who helped make it all possible. They're the ones who work behind the scenes, often in challenging and dangerous conditions, to build and maintain the infrastructure that we all rely on. Their legacy is etched into the very fabric of our modern world. It's a legacy of hard work, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. It's a legacy that will continue to shape our world for generations to come, as long as there are men and women willing to answer the call, to put on their hard hats and work boots, and to build the future one weld at a time. So let's hear it for the Boilermakers, the unsung heroes of industry, the masters of metal and might, the guardians of pressure and precision. They're the ones who make it all happen, and they deserve our gratitude and respect.